Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. And on the screen today, you're going to be watching some Black Ops 4 gameplay. But once again, Charlie Intel coming through. We are back. Modern Warfare Ground Mode is set in a huge map with vehicles, 64 plus players. Game Informer has just started their exclusive coverage of Modern Warfare, as the game is their cover story for this month. Game Informer has released their cover story of when they visited Infinity Ward, which has just some new details on the multiplayer experience in Modern Warfare. The cover story reveals that Game Informer had a chance to actually play Modern Warfare's ground war mode at the studio. Game Informer says the mode version they played was 64 players, but Activision has since said in a press release that the mode supports more than 100 players. Game Informer describes this mode similar to that of large-scale battlefield-sized maps. The mode for this large map is Domination 5-flag capture style, similar to that of the 20v20 mode. Game Informer says the map has lots of open space, high sightlines from key landmarks, and areas with sparse cover. The mode features many landmarks across the map and smaller corridors for combat. The map features vehicles, choppers, and more, and is set in a downtown of a city with skyscrapers and even banks in the area. They said in the match they played, choppers fly by smashing into buildings as whirls of infantry scatter and merge from cover on the streets below. Choppers whiz by above while players spawn into secured locations, and even APCs on the move planning their next cap point. Cover is everywhere in the side alleys and between buildings, but watch yourself carefully if you're planning to trek the spacious roads, as they provide little protection and can turn everything from small-scale skirmishes on the fly around upturned cars to sniper massacres. You're incredibly exposed in these areas, so judicious use of smoke, fast movement from cover to cover, and working as incursion teams are all critical to success if you plan to spend any time on these expanses of concrete. From mini assaults into areas between towering buildings to huge team assaults on the bank, there's a ton going on in ground war, and death comes swift as ever. There are no fixed classes like support or assault. Instead, you can just bring any loadout that you can conjure up from any of the other standard modes and change it as needed during the course of a war. Ground war mode will deliver an epic scale combat for the very first time in Modern Warfare. Game Informer's cover story is available as part of their magazine here. I'm going to link both the Charlie Intel article and the Game Informer article down below. So, this sounds pretty sick. If I'm being honest, I'm not going to sit here and say, they're trying to copy Battlefield, this, that, whatever. But in reality, I'm pretty sure they're trying to copy Battlefield. Not copy, but, they're trying to mimic Battlefield, right? And I have no problem with that. The only thing is that I don't want them to kind of do what Treyarch did. And what I mean by that is Treyarch, they kind of put multiplayer in like the back seat, and they worked primarily on Blackout, or they cared primarily about Blackout, about Battle Royale, right? And I know that whole thing came out, and I just made a video about it yesterday saying that, Infinity Ward's like their plans is to make multiplayer a priority, but at the same time, it's like I don't want them to make ground war the priority. I know ground war is still multiplayer, I understand that, but if you get where I'm coming from, it's like I don't want them to put all their resources into this 64 player or more than 100 player playlist or game mode or whatever you want to call it, and neglect the 2v2, neglect the 6v6, neglect the 10v10s and the 20v20s, right? I still want, I want everything, all the resources to be scattered equally, and say, okay, we have to have, it's like having multiple kids, right? It's like Treyarch had 3 kids last year, right? Treyarch had zombies, Treyarch had multiplayer, and then they had Blackout, right? And they cared about Blackout the most. It's like caring for one of your kids more than the others, right? If you're a parent, you're obviously not going to do that. Well, I hope not, right? So it's like, I feel like everything should just be scattered evenly. Everything should be cared for evenly. And then, if some if some portion of the people need help, right? So if some guy's having trouble with the 6v6 stuff, then, you know, some other guy can come over from, you know, Ground War or whatever to come help him, and not just say, okay, well, you know what, like, let's let that guy struggle, and, you know, 6v6 will just be like a whatever thing, right? Because, oh, we want to focus on Ground War, or we want to focus on gunfight, or we want to focus on, you know, whatever, or spec ops, right? So, you know, I just feel like everything should be like scattered out even. But I do like what I'm seeing with, you know, like, I'm pretty sure you can't like fly the helicopters and APC and drive the APCs and shit. I know, you know, we saw that they had ATVs, and somebody said that the ATVs were buggy, but, you know, hopefully it does get ironed out before the game actually does come out. But, you know, I am liking this. I like the whole description of it, but, you know, once again, it's just going to be a matter of when we play it, and then we're going to be able to see like what's going on, what's sick, what's not sick. But as of right now, it is, you know, it's sounding pretty decent to me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to take up too much of your time today, obviously. You know, just real quick, I do appreciate the support on the channel, obviously, of course. Like I said yesterday, we hit 140 subscribers. I am very, very, like, I appreciate it a lot, obviously. And I hope you're going to join me when we, you know, when we start getting more subscribers, more views, and more everything, and more live streams and this and all that kind of stuff this fall. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, thank you for taking the time every day to watch my video. It's very much appreciated. All relevant links are down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next one.